reading People magazine and I find this article on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and all this trash in the ocean. This was 2009, so the Great Pacific Garbage Patch was brand new. People weren't talking about it. I was just fascinated that we were ruining such an important ecosystem. My name is Jenny Brandon, and I'm a postdoc here at Scripps Institution of Oceanography. There's kind of two kinds of plastic in the ocean. There's large plastic, and that's macroplastic, and that's full water bottles or tires or fishing nets. Most of the plastic in the ocean is actually microplastic, and it's tiny, tiny pieces, smaller than 5 millimeters. By the time I started studying plastic, there had been thousands of net tows done. 90% of those net tows had been done with the same size mesh. So they'd been done with 333 micron mesh, which is 1/3 of a millimeter. So it's really small. It's what we use to catch a lot of plankton. But we know that plastic just continues to degrade into tinier and tinier pieces. So I actually used a metal bucket, and then I filtered all that surface water on really thin filters, and I imaged those filters to try to find the tiniest microplastic. Once I figured out a method that really worked, and so I could really count the tiny plastic, I found that we had been underestimating how much microplastic was in the ocean by 100,000 times. Salps are what we call gelatinous zooplankton. Salps are important as part of the California current ecosystem because they eat anything, and I thought they might eat plastic. I thought they might take plastic from the surface to the deep sea. "100% of the salps I dissected were eating plastic. No one had ever looked at plastic deposition in sediment layers. A friend of mine had processed a whole sediment core. We found that plastic is literally being deposited in our sediment record. We are literally leaving a mark in our future fossil record of how much plastic we're consuming. For me, that's kind of where the fun stuff begins. Like, here's the data we found. Now what are we going to do with that? Now how are we going to change consumer behavior with that? Now how are we going to change policy with that? Now how are we going to educate people with that? And I realized I did not need to be the one in the lab finding the new exciting data. I wanted to be the person talking about that new exciting data. At Birch Aquarium, I get to educate people about my own work and about marine debris, but I also get to educate students on cutting edge stuff here at Scripps. So I show them these samples and I teach them about plastic in the middle of the ocean, but I really try to show them that this is our trash and our actions affect the ocean. And they always get it. It really resonates with them. Their actions are affecting this. Scripps is changing the world, but everyone's too busy changing the world here to talk about how they're changing the world. And so I get to do that, and it's a really fun job.